Hey, if you admit it to yourself, you have a good idea what that next step is and what success from it would look like. Often, outside forces play a bigger role than is helpful. We're going to talk about how redefining success, not sex. You can redefine sex, but I don't recommend that for this episode. Anyway, if you want to redefine success, it's going to be good to recover from that. It comes from inside. And we're going to give you 2 tips on that. That's today's antidote, and I'm going to try to say the word success, not sex, over and over.
Stay tuned for today's antidote, brought to you by the Renegade Success Network. Today's antidote features a healthy dose of thought-provoking insights and information for business owners, entrepreneurs, leaders, and nonprofit professionals. Each day since March of 2020, this program has offered that one thing to help you continue on your own unique pathway to success. And now, Renegades, we bring you Bob Graham and Tom Brush.
Oh, different view. Look at that, Tom. You're using a different. We got it all going on today. So it had to happen.
What's that?
In 500 some odd episodes that someone was going to use the word sex instead of success. And it had to be me this morning.
Whew, glad it wasn't me.
Right.
Although, you know what?
I once spelled public wrong in the newspaper article.
How'd that go over?
It was a public disgrace.
It happens, right? You know,
it does. So I apologize to anyone who was offended by my mistake. I apologize. Things happen. This is live, although we're recording it. Tom and I have a pretty good commitment not to redo things for a variety of reasons. So how are you today, Tom? I know how I am.
I'm doing well. You know, I love the fact that you weren't you didn't say, oh, we need to stop this and restart all over again. I think that there's something valuable about, just like if we had been live, this is what was real. Whether we always like the results of what's real or not, we learn from it and figure out how to move forward. And I imagine that as you contemplate using the word success in the future, that funny memory will pop into your head.
Yes, I'm going to go with the accomplishments from now on.
All right. I like success. Anyhow, welcome everyone to our daily broadcast and podcast, today's Antidote. We'll have a conversation. This week, we've been talking about redefining success. Not that other thing that Bob shared at the start of it. And we're going to talk a little bit.
Define that too, if you want. I mean, it's up to you.
We could. I think that's a whole nother show.
I'm just not an expert on that, so I don't want to go down that road.
Anyway, we probably need a different title. Although that might be the antidote to what people are looking for today. So there is possibility of that.
There is a possibility.
Maybe that's what they were coming here for.
One person. That would be the perfect antidote for at least one person I know.
Well, there's probably more out there who would feel like, geez, that would be a good antidote to what I'm struggling with today, challenged with. Anyhow, so we're going to talk about success. And today we're going to have the conversation around it comes from inside. You know, we talked a little bit about what it means on Monday. And then yesterday, I thought we had a great conversation around why it matters. And I think that if you missed that episode, I would suggest that you hit pause now and then go back and listen to that. And then I think you may have a different appreciation for the conversation that we have today. Maybe. Or you can just listen to the rest of this and go back and say, I'm interested to hear what they had to say about why it matters that we consider redefining success. So before we dive into that, though, what we always do is celebrate share our celebrations. We're all having a little tongue-tiedness today.
You know what it does? Me,
You know why it is because you always not. You know, you haven't said this in a while. You usually share that it is. You encourage people to listen to the show if they listen to the recording on 1.5.
Yeah.
So I think to try to make up for that, we try to speak faster so that they don't have to do that, so they can listen to it. And that when we speak faster, many times our tongues do get tied over words that somehow, some way come out differently.
Okay, fair enough. I know what the excuse is for me. I'm just distracted by a whole bunch of different things. So I openly admit that, and I'm going to celebrate the fact that I can keep powering through, even though I'm distracted by a variety of things, both personal, professional. There's a lot going on right now. And by the way, we are recording this episode. So this is actually Tuesday at 10:44 a.m.
Not Wednesday at 8 a.m.
Correct.
Fair enough. All right. So that's what you're celebrating. What I am going to celebrate today on Wednesday is, what am I going to celebrate? Oh, that I'm working on this RFP for a new project that I'm excited.
Request for proposal to those of you who are not in the lingo.
It's funny. I did a workshop once. It was like a week-long workshop, and they sent you a package of materials. And one of the things
you participate or you led it?
I was participating.
Okay,
but this was an interesting
too. Yeah.
This was an interesting idea. So they sent us, I used to have it around here, but I think I've moved it somewhere. But it was like, and one of those things when you say like RFP, that's I can't think of the word.
Acronym?
An acronym. It had a little, like a popsicle stick with a thing on it that says acronym on it. And so if any time someone used an acronym, which as you know, they show up often, we were supposed to hold those up so that we're like, don't speak in acronyms that we may not all understand.
So that was the SOP for the event.
Correct. Acronym. So anyhow, I'm going to talk about the request for proposal. My celebration is the request for proposal that I'm going to work on today. That's for a strategic plan that would be really fun to do and exciting to do. And so I'm excited and celebrating the action that I am taking today.
Nice.
What have we got for our renegades today?
Hey, why don't we celebrate the people that go out and do something for the first time? And the reason I bring that up is someone we know, John, posted a TikTok yesterday, Tuesday, and it was the first one he's done. And it was, his definition of it wasn't really great. But the fact that he took the step, because lots of people have talked about TikTok. They're like, oh, I should be on TikTok, or I should be on Instagram, or I should do this or do that. I should update my website. He took the step in less than 24 hours. And I think real people really committed to what they're trying to achieve will take that step more quickly. And he didn't, and he said it's really terrible. It needs work. But it's a success to me because it's there. And I can't tell you how many people have been fiddling around and saying, I'm going to post a TikTok. Like I posted one for us, a week ago, I think. Haven't done another one.
Might have been the feedback I gave you.
It could be.
Which I thought your TikTok was really good, except he was chewing gum in it, and it was fairly
I was. Thank you. If you'd like to go see that, you can see. I don't remember.
I think you're BG Writer, aren't you?
Yeah, BG Writer. That's right. Yeah, you can go and enjoy the humor of it all.
Yeah. All right. So let's dive into our topic. Topic today is about redefining success and how it comes from inside. Do you want to share some thoughts around that, Bob, to get us started?
I do, of course. We sort of tapped into this on Tuesday's program, the idea that if you're, for me, a lot of my successes come from outside perspectives of me that I have in my head, that my father would be proud. If he were still alive, he'd be proud of Bob accomplishing this thing. My mother, who's still alive, is very proud of the things I've accomplished. My friends who I value, I see them as seeing me, well, Bob did this great, or he didn't do this really well, or it was elegant. I think that's a whole bunch of malarkey. I think most of that's in my head. I really do. Like, I think I've projected onto you at times, you're looking for a certain level of success for me or us. And I know that's not true. I know that deep down inside, but it's easier to project it onto you than for me to say, hey, what is success for me? And I think sometimes we struggle to figure out what it is, because in interior success, what's going on in my heart, success is different than business success. Like, I'll tell you, Tom, between you and me and everyone else participating, if I never made another dollar and could get through my life, I'd be fine. I get much more excited. You don't hear me go, oh, wow, I made this much money last week. but you'll hear me, hey, I had a great discussion with the person and I could see a shift. I helped this company do this thing. You talked about the strategic plan. You didn't talk about how much money you make on it. I don't have a clue, and I've never asked you because that's not what resonates with you. And I think as we get closer to what our heart wants us to do, as I said yesterday in the program, I think our successes line up more easily, and success has a different definition. It's not the bank account, and that's fine. I mean, if you want a big bank account, that's fine. That's great. That's certainly a mark of success. And if that's for you, that's great. But for me, more and more, the mark of success is, I hate to say it, but maybe it's the word legacy. What is the imprint I put on the world? And I think of the 3,000 college students I've taught. I made some good money doing that. I haven't made good money other times doing that. But I think of the fact that there are over 3,000 people that I influenced, some in really profound ways. Others, not so much. So what do you think about all that, Tom?
No, I love that. I think that one of the challenges is that so often, and I think this is sort of what you said, we let others define what success is for us. Mm-hmm. And then we feel like we have to live up to that. And if we don't, we are not successful. I think that I've thought about that a lot, and I know my mind has shifted on it. I look at even some of my classmates from where I went to college and what they are doing, and again, what the position is, what the prestige of that position is, the experiences they had, the money that they have made, and sometimes feel like that's the definition of success. Well, that might be the definition of success for them, which is okay. And I think what I come to realize is that's not necessarily the definition of success for me. And I think that's why when I think about this is that really we have the opportunity, each of us, to define for ourselves what success means. And that when we are able to do that and stick to it, I think we can eliminate a lot of the frustration, being stuck, worry, anxiety, just fear of I am not having success, and that others, as you
mentioned, I'm not reaching this goal.
Right. And that others are looking at me and saying, I am not as successful as I could have, would have, should have been, as they are, as someone else is. And I think that, in the last probably 5 or 7 years for me has changed, where I just see that's their success and I can celebrate their success. Mm-hmm. And also know that for my definition of success, I am achieving and striving to achieve that on a daily basis. And so again, if we are basing, and this might be my antidote, if we are basing our definition of success on what others have done, are doing, the likelihood of us to spend time judging ourselves will greatly increase, rather than being able to define it for ourselves and not worry about what others think, because it only matters to us. If we truly are unique, as we talk about all the time as renegades, we have the opportunity to create that pathway that is not only unique in and of itself, the pathway, how we define and what success is on the end is also unique.
The other thing, Tom, and I like that, is we have social media. We have so many ways that we can share success, in quote marks, the science of success. My boyfriend and I just went on a trip. I just saw a post from someone. They just went on a trip and they were in, where was it? Costa Rica for 10 days. And there were a whole bunch of pictures of really cool stuff. And someone else is in Paris, and someone else just got a new car, a really nice car. And we have all these trappings that we think of as success. And I think social media, for all the good it does, often gives us a unclear, unfair picture of success, because you might have gone to Costa Rica for 10 days, but your bank account's overdrawn by $10,000 to do it. I have no way of knowing that. And we also don't know what effort goes into someone achieving whatever they achieve. We tend to minimize effort and focus more on the result when we look at other people. Whereas with ourselves, we seem to maximize, we overstate the effort. Oh, so hard to get done, and minimize the success. Well, I've been working on this for a long time. And I think that's the conundrum I see is it's real easy to look at other people and go, wow, how are they doing that? They're so amazing. They're really, we don't know the struggle. We don't know what goes into it. We don't know their journey.
Or their definition of success.
Correct.
And again,
Correct.
that could be, if that was their goal, if that was a definition, a part of the definition of success was to travel to wherever to buy a nice car. Who are we to then judge them on what their definition of success is? And I think that's the key balancing act, is when you can kind of get to that point where you're comfortable in your definition of success and you are comfortable in what others choose to be their definition of success, knowing that they will be different. And I think that that's the piece that we struggle with, is we either judge ourselves based on someone else's success, or we judge them based on what they define as success. Right. And I think it's that judgment that leaves us with so many challenges. I think people talk about the evils of social media because everybody is putting on this supposedly fake, only showing the really good things. Maybe not. Why do we judge that as and rather than judge it, just say, good for them. They are celebrating what they believe is their definition of success. Why should I judge it? Why can't I? If I'm comfortable with mine, I should also start to be comfortable with theirs, that this is what they see as the level of success. And that's okay. That's their choice. So what's your one thing, Bob?
I think my one thing is that as we look at this, you have to be really clear about what's inside you. And I'm not always clear about that. I can easily offset what I'm thinking in my head, what's really important to me, and let other people dictate. I allow that. It's not that they tell me, it's just I project that onto them. So I think it's really being true about what really makes you feel good. What do you want to share with someone that you're close to at the end of the day? Is it how much money you made? Is it that you changed lives? Is it that you got a new contract? What is that thing that really, if you could only share one thing today, what would it be? Because I find when it's that one thing, it's not about money. It's not about number of contracts. It's about making a difference. I once did a presentation for about 60 people for 3 hours. It was okay, not great. I wasn't real pleased with it. But at the end of it,
sounds like you're judging it, but okay.
I just didn't feel like it connected very well.
Okay.
I didn't, they applauded at the end. It was sort of like,
that sounds like a judgment as well.
Came up afterwards, and I went to get a cup of coffee. It was at a company site, and I went to get a cup of coffee, and this person followed me. And they're like, I've just got to tell you, this presentation changed my life. I needed to hear this today. And so as I was driving home, because it was Northern Virginia, so I had a nice 2-hour rush hour drive, I celebrated that. That was the thing that mattered to me. And the rest of it didn't matter to me. If the other people didn't like it, thought it was a waste, hey, whatever. And the company never hired me again. But that employee switched jobs, and that employee got me hired by their second company.
Which is cool.
And so what's success in that? Is success you got up and did the presentation? Is success you got to Northern Virginia at rush hour in the morning and we're on time? Is success that you changed one life? Who knows? All those could be success or not, right?
Certainly. Or they could be just things we celebrate. And success means something else.
All right, Tom, you ready to wrap this one up?
Sure. All right, everyone. Thanks so much for being a part of our show today. If you have thoughts and ideas or your one thing that you'd like to share around redefining success and about whether you believe it comes from within you, we'd love to see you share it in the comments here or inside the Ring of Renegades Facebook group where we're talking about it all week. So please feel free to join us inside there. We hope to see you there. If not, we'll see you tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time for our next edition of today's Antidote. Have a great day, everyone.
Hey, embrace the renegading you and try something you've been putting off. Just a little something.
Cool. I'll
You'll
have to think
thank
about
yourself.
what that'll be. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for listening to today's Antidote, powered by the Renegade Success Network. The Renegade Success Network helps you confidently create your own unique pathway to success. To learn more about the Renegade Success Network and how you can take your next step, follow us on Twitter, connect on LinkedIn, or join the Ring of Renegades Facebook group. For full details on how you can join our community, go to renegadesuccessnetwork.com. Embrace the renegade in you.